Now we're taking a look at Word, Chapter 2, Project 2B, Cover Letter and Resume. And we're going to start with Activity 2.10, creating a letterhead. It says Start Word, which we've already done. Make sure formatting marks are displayed. That's this Show Hide button up here. And in the Styles, on the Home tab, in the Styles group right here, we are supposed to, it says click on the More button, this arrow that points down here, and find the no spacing option. Well, I'm doing this on a wide screen, so I don't have to click on the down arrow there. I can just click on no spacing. And that should be, actually that should be Calibri and 11 if I'm using the default. And now we're going to start typing in some text. Okay, I've just finished typing in the email address and press enter. And it automatically turns email addresses and what it recognizes as web addresses into hyperlinks. And we've got a couple of choices here. I think if we just hit backspace once and then hit enter again, it will remove it. So if you want it, that's another auto formatting feature of Word. And typically when it auto formats something that you don't want it to auto format, if you hit backspace right after you do it, it will undo that. Okay, now we want to select the first paragraph and we want to make it bold. I'm going to do a Control B. And we want the font size to be 16. Now we're going to select the second and third paragraphs and we want them to be bold and we want them to be 12. And with those two paragraphs still selected, in the paragraph group, click on the Align Text Right button, which would be this button right here. We could also do a Control R. And click anywhere in the first paragraph. And in the paragraph group, click on the Borders button arrow. So let's go to the paragraph group here, and here's our Borders button, down arrow. And at the bottom we want Borders and Shading. And under Style, we want a single solid line, which we've got. For the width arrow, for the width option, we want 3 points, which is a thick line here. And there's a preview over here. It doesn't have anything on it yet, and that's because I haven't told it where I want to put this thick black solid line. And I want it on the bottom below the text that I've selected. And I'm going to apply it just to this paragraph. You notice there's some other options. Oh, no, this time there are not any other options. Sometimes there are. And click on OK. And now I've got a 3-point line below her name, and then I've got the address information over here below the line. And we're going to save this. Since it's a new document, if we click on Save, it'll ask us for a name. And we're going to do this last name underscore first name underscore 2B letterhead. And click on Save. And we're going to go to the Backstage view again, which is clicking on the File tab. And we're going to go to Properties over here, and we want to show the document panel. And again, we're going to add this extra information where we put our name here in the author. And we're going to put in keywords, and for keywords it's going to be personal letterhead. And then we can click on Close over here on the right. And save our document. That is the end of 2.10, 2.10. Now we're moving on to activity 2.11, creating a document from an existing document. And we need to close this one first. Let's go here, File, and choose Close. And now we can move on to 2.11. To use an existing document as a starting point, Word provides the New from Existing command. So click on File, and it's going to take us to here, and we want to click on New. And New from Existing is over here. And it takes us to the last folder that I was in. And I want to find the letterhead document and click on Create New. And the only difference here between doing what I just did and opening this file is when I create it from a new document, I get a new name. I get document 8. So I don't have to worry about overwriting that old document if I go here to save it and I forget to change the name. So that's a smart way to create something from an existing document. And we want to save this. Let's do a file, save as, and we're going to call this last name first name underscore 2B cover letter. Okay, I missed something on the previous step, the previous activity rather, and that was to put the file name down here in the footer. We're going to go down here and, whoops, do Control Z to undo that. I didn't get in the footer. Make sure I'm down. Okay, we'll try this. It doesn't like it when I double click down here in the footer for some reason today. Let's see if I'm low enough. I'll go as low as I can here. Nope, still doesn't like it. Control Z. So we're going to have to do this the hard way. We're going to have to go to Insert, Footer, and down here we're going to go to the Quick Parts field and put file name in, click on OK. Now if I had done that on the previous activity like I was supposed to, what would be here is the original file name, which was last name, first name, and letterhead, 2B letterhead. And now it's, I want this to be the name. And this does not update automatically, but if you right click on it and choose Update Field, and you've changed the name of the file, it will update it then. But it doesn't happen automatically. You have to make sure you go in and manually do that. But at least you don't have to type in the file name yourself. Okay. And that is the end of 2.11. Now we're going to take a look at 2.12, which is on recording autocorrect entries. Okay, click the file. Let's close this. Let's click the File tab, and we're in Backstage View, and on the Help tab, click Options to display the Word Options dialog box. So here's Options, and there's the Word Options dialog box. And click Proofing right here, and then under Autocorrect Options we want to click the Autocorrect Options button right here, and we want to click the Autocorrect tab, which is up by default, and under Replace we're going to do our own little spelling corrector here, R-E-S-U-M-E-E, which would be the incorrect spelling. We want to replace it with R-E-S-U-M-E, and then click on Add, and that adds it to our autocorrect. And we're going to do one for computer as well. Leave the E out and replace it with the correct spelling of computer. Click on Add. Click on OK, and click on OK again, and save your document. And that's probably a good place to stop and save this video.